Hello and welcome. Two Lights in the Darkness are back. We have got a guest, Borja Fernandez. That was the right pronunciation, right?
That's it, Erna. That was perfect. Thank you very much.
Good,
You're one of the
good.
few that pronounces it well.
Thank you. And in this introduction, we have a little something that is new that we're going to do. I am going to read it because I can't do it from my mind.
Yeah,
On
I
my mind,
totally
from my
follow what
mind.
you say. Yeah,
Yeah.
from your
Okay.
mind.
So it's a quote by L.R. Nost, and it says, "Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you."
Yes. Mhm.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, it is very beautiful. Alli was the one that found it, and we thought it would be a good idea to start off with that.
Yes. Yes,
And it
yes,
is
it's
very true. Intention will mend anything that it can be mended.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So Borja, tell us, who are you? What do you do?
That's a good question. Thank you very much, Erna. So, as you said, my name is Borja Fernandez. Fernandez. As you might have guessed, I am from Spain.
Mhm.
Uh, I come from the north of Spain, a very small place called Asturias, but I live in the southwest of France with my Russian wife. So quite a mixture right there, huh?
Good.
Spanish, French, Russian, and it's awesome. It's awesome. And besides all that mixture, I'm gonna introduce a little bit what I do, like my
Yeah.
passion and what I do for others, the way I serve this world, and it's through an expertise called biohacking. Don't know if you heard about it, girls, but biohacking. Do you know what it is?
Well, I heard of it. I don't know exactly what biohacking is. I know part of it, but I'm not expert at all.
I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, but I'm gonna be very simple and
Hmm.
because this is funny to me, it's my passion, so it's an epiphany. But you can't explain an epiphany to others from an epiphany point of view, if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
epiphany is complex, is a lot of mathematics and science and complex wording. So I'm just gonna try to be as simple as I can and try to explain it as I was once explained this world more than
Hmm.
10 years ago already, because I have been doing it for more than 10 years. And it's basically think of a mechanic, like mechanic, he fixes
Hmm.
cars, but a biohacker and biohacking, furthermore. It's like a mechanic for the brain and the body,
Body.
which are fatigued. So if you're fatigued, if you're not getting all the results you want at a physical and psychological and spiritual level, biohacking can help you with that. In which way it does it? It's thanks to science. Biohacking is pretty much fitness, nutrition, spirituality, all mixed together with the last discoveries of science. And I specialize on weight loss. So besides getting more energy, being
Hmm.
stronger, having more muscle, reverting the biological clock, that means looking and feeling younger.
Yeah.
All those are amazing, but my specialization is losing weight.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because before we started, I said that I was a bit tired, and you said, "Yeah, I was also tired, but I took a cold shower." So that's one of the biohacking things, right?
There you go. That's an example for a biohack. I love how
Yeah.
you say you're tired, but you're very awake right there. Like,
Yeah.
you got it right.
Yeah, but that's because I put my energy focused on this. So then there's no tiredness.
There you go.
After when we're finished, then it's like, okay, I'm done.
But that is very good. That's an amazing ability, skill to develop, Erna, because most of people they cannot even focus on a 20-minute task or a 30-minute task, 45-minute, let alone staying focused for many hours. But
Yeah.
you're able to push yourself towards the limit. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I've always been able to do that quite easily, but yeah. Yeah.
Biohacks help you get there more easily. Like, for instance, I mean, cold showers are not for everybody. Don't get me wrong, Erna. There is a biohack for every kind of
Not for
person.
me, not for me. Cold showers are not for me.
You know, there's actually even a sickness that it's not a sickness, but it's a modification in genetics. Forgot the name, but doesn't matter. Someone in the comments they can write it down. It's pretty famous. It has the name of a person that discovered that syndrome, which is not a syndrome. It's a modification on genetics,
Hmm.
and it basically you can actually die if, like like we normal people can get hypothermia. Like not so easily. Like so, this modification in genetics is basically the same, but way easier to get. Like if you have to be very careful. Most of these
Yeah.
people they all live in Miami. They all live in tropical areas because
Yeah. Rightly
they
so.
they always need to feel warm, and this cold shower biohacking is not for them.
No.
Right. Yeah. And what do you think of the polar dip? Borja, do
What,
you,
Ali?
what do you think of the polar dip?
The
Oh, it's
polar
awesome.
dip.
You think the polar dip is good? Okay.
I mean, Ali, you live up in Maine. I guess that's a big thing where you live at. Like when I was in Maine, I mean, it was pretty cold. Those nights were, and have you done it?
No, I just say I have never done it. I thought, well, the minute you go from your body being warm and then you jump into this freezing cold water, I was like, don't you have a heart attack? I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
gotta be very. I could be talking about it for hours, but just because we want to talk about a lot of things here and we want to cover a lot of topics, I'm just gonna stay very simple. And another day, if you want, we can jump into a specific topic and stay more time. But just to talk
Oh,
a
that
little
would be
bit about
cool.
yeah, just to talk a little bit about polar dips and the things that you have to take into account is like whenever you engage in a hormetic stress practice. Don't know if you know what hormetic stress is, but it's pretty much when it's a stress that makes you stronger once you finish applying that stress into your body. It's hormetic stress. And cold is a hormetic stress.
Mhm.
Warmth is a hormetic stress, like being in the sauna, that's a stress as well. Fasting is a hormetic stress, like you don't put food into your body for a long periods of time, and you're stressing your body in a way that you get stronger afterwards, but with certain precautions. You always have to be sure when you take these hormetic stresses into your body, when you make your body suffer them, that you do it in a good environment. What does that mean, a good environment? Well, let me explain you. It's pretty simple. The shower is already cold. You're not inside. You're thinking about it, and you're already trembling.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
yeah.
That's the bad context. Then it's not a hormetic stress. Then it's just a stress. So whatever hormetic stress you want to put
Oh,
your body through, you gotta do it in the good state of mind. And that there's a nerve called the vagus nerve, and it plays a
yeah.
big role on all that. Because if it's relaxed, if the vagus nerve is not like when you put cold water, it's the best example, the one that I like the most, because you can think of I'm very sure you've had that experience in your life. You got cold water and you did not expect it cold. What do? You take a big that's the vagus nerve. It's afraid. So if you can control that reflex, and instead of doing like, you're like, no, 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 guys, I'm relaxed, I'm fine, I'm loving this, and you just do it slowly, and you through the nose.
Yep. Okay.
Like normal respiration, like the one you would have if you were not applying warmth or cold to your body, or fasting for that matter, or huge strength exercise for that matter. So when you do it in a good context, which is not, you're not nervous, you already know what it is, and it is not a surprise, and you like it, then it's awesome, and it makes you stronger. I have another example under the hat that is a little bit, I don't even know if it's a good idea giving it. I mean, it's a little bit controversial, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. I'm gonna say it anyway. So it's like, think about it. It's like when, imagine like a rapport, like sexual rapport. Like imagine how harm it can do if you disagree, or how good it can be if you agree. So it's the same. Think about it that way, because sometimes people are like, okay, but cold water, okay, I can be trembling and all that, and the effect is going to be exactly the same as if I am enjoying it. Not true. It is not going to be the same. The same way, it is not going to be the same if you engage into sexual activity willingly or unwillingly. It's going to become a trauma, right? And you might suffer it for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, that happens.
Yeah, true.
Erna, you were
So
going to say.
yeah, I was going to say something. I don't even know what I was going to say anymore. So just go on. But well, what I wanted to say was, so the biohacking is actually very much also a mind thing.
That's it. It is body, mind, and science all together. So it picks up a bunch of things from everywhere. And the fact, I don't know if you heard about like this documentary series from Joe Dispenza talking about how it's on Gaia, talking about how you can. There has been some experimentation done in universities in Japan, and I've seen the articles myself on Google Scholar. You can see them. Talk about how you have 2 glasses of water, and 1 glass of water you insult it, and the other one you say words of love. Okay, well, so you might believe it, you might not, it doesn't matter, it's out there, you can look, it's data. But
Matsumoto,
I don't remember. But it's a university in Japan, that's for sure. I can look for the article later on, and we can share it in the comments if I happen to find it. But I'm always reading so many articles that and if they're not super special, I don't keep them in my record. But what I'm trying to say is, it's actually proven that it's not something that you think about or not. No. It is something that you can actually see on a electronic microscope. At a molecular level, you see the difference in the structure of the water that has been insulted and the water that has been given words of love. Can you imagine what that can do in our body? We're way more human than water, right? Well, we're water anyway. But
I she's going to say,
if it does that to water, which doesn't talk, doesn't understand English, what can it do to us? It's actually the energy and what's in our minds that can change structures and molecules. And that's something that I find wonderful. And the science will only start telling us more and more about it in the next coming years, because this is quite new actually, and biohacking is just a small baby.
Yeah, true. That is true. So how do you work with it with your clients to get them to lose weight?
That's a very good question, Erna. So at a psychological level, and first of all, I am not a physician, and I would never say that this is the absolute truth, and I would always recommend my clients to first see a physician to see if there's something undergoing their health issues. But at a psychological level, and thanks to biohacking, we know that first we can treat the problem that most of the times when people are overweight, it has to do with some addiction.
Yeah.
So 80% of the times, it has to do with an addiction to food, addiction to self-damaging techniques, like people that don't love, because it's not indulgent and unconditional love that they feel towards themselves. That's why I also liked very much the affirmation that you used in the beginning. I forgot the name of the guy that said it.
L.R. Nost. Let me.
L.R. Nost. Okay,
I'll put it in
but
the chat.
but he's totally right. Love unconditionally and have the intention. So the first thing I tell my clients is, you've contacted me, you obviously want to transform your body, but is it really true? And then once they make that commitment, that means they actually post pictures. It has nothing to do with promoting my brand, not at all. It has to do with them getting into a situation where there's no escape, and they have already they don't have escapatory. They're trapped in the corner. They either love themselves unconditionally and want to have the change, the transformation of their lives that they've been looking for their whole lives. Either they do that, or
Yeah.
they go back again to where they were. And once the pain is so much, they might take a decision to go forward. But most of the times they come to me and they realize, because of a whole PNL processes transformation that I do with them on a free call that I normally always, because it's the first step. I feel like everybody has the right to experience it, like becoming ready to take that step. And once they're ready to take that step, if they want me to accompany them through the process, I am more than willing to do that, and it's my pleasure. And the way I start is by already first step transforming their mindset, thanks to to 5 PNL sessions. That means they look themselves in the mirror and they see the target, they see what they're going for, and they see the new, let's say, but let's just put an example, so you're Erna, so you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, I already know the Erna I want to become. I know it's my real me, because that's the one I like, that's the one I love, and I've been waiting for this real Erna for a long time. And then we apply a bunch of fitness techniques that can optimize time and effort. Some people think that because they train 1 hour and a half every day, they're gonna get more results. Not at all.
No.
Like with fitness, there's a curve, and it goes like that. The first minutes, you improve a lot, but then once you get past the 25 minutes, it starts going like that. 35 minutes, 45 minutes. When you've already done 45 minutes of right strategy exercise, you're pretty much flat. And if you do and if you do 1 hour and a half, you're just doing 30 minutes or 45 minutes of free exercise. When I say free, I mean that you're not getting results
you don't
compared to the first. Exactly. And this curve can even break. So that's most of the people don't realize, but when you do too much, you can actually break your body and you can regret it afterwards. So we work on at a fitness level, optimizing the strategies that you can do to transform your body, nutrition level, so that you can transform also your body. At a nutrition level, that means don't necessarily apply all and every one of the techniques that are in the world, but for each one of us, there is one specific technique that will work the best, and you can't identify the good technique with each person at the first moment. You need to study a little bit what's going on with each individual, and normally it takes about a week to realize what's going to be the nutrition plan that is going to help the person achieve the best results in the least amount of time. And there's also the psychological level throughout the whole process. So it's fitness, nutrition, and psychology.
So how long does it take do you set like a goal with your clients? Okay, I want to lose 10 kg, and then to the point that you reach that goal and then you're done with the client, or
Very interesting question, Erna. It actually does take very little time thanks to all the expertise that is behind. Remember that I've been doing this for more than 10 years. It's my passion. And there is it takes only 49 days. We have to say that 1 week, so that means it's pretty much 42 days. In reality, it's 42 days because there's 1 week of acclimatization. So you need to, we don't understand the nutrition plan that is going to work for the rest of the processes. We don't understand 100% what's the fitness plan that is going to work because for each person is one different and single one.
Yeah.
So let's say the first week, obviously you get results, but it's more like exploration. So in total, it's 49 days because it's what it takes for 99% of the population, everybody. If it does take a little bit more, it's only 1% of the population that they're very, how to say. So I'm going to give you an example. Most of people, I believe it's like 85% of the population, so it's a lot. It's almost everybody. They're bears. I'm gonna talk about that in another time because it's a long story. But just I'm talking about circadian rhythms. They're bears, and what does that mean? There's a famous doctor called Alex, and I forgot his surname, but his name is Alex, and he pretty much said that there's four kinds of animals that we divide ourselves into when we sleep. There's the bears, there's the dolphins, there's the lions, there's the wolves. Bears are the ones that go to bed at around 10 and wake up at around 6:37, and that's why all the jobs in the world, throughout the world, they're based on these circadian rhythm because it's the most normal. So that's why all the office jobs, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, they're basically adapted to this kind of person so that they don't feel bad and they feel energetic and go to work. Now imagine someone that needs to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and wakes up at 12 at noon. He's pretty much sleeping as much as the bear. Sometimes he's even sleeping less, but her circadian rhythms are different. So poor guy, poor girl, right? The world is not adapted to them. No. So this is the same. 85% of people, this is even more. Like for 99% of the population, these 49 days work. It's more than enough. The process ends. They already achieve the body of their dreams. Obviously, if they have an extra, how do you call it, like an overweight of 50 or 60 extra kilos, then obviously that takes more time. But most of the people, they have 20, they have 15, 25. Well, in 49 days, it's done. I've had cases of people losing 30 kilos in 49 days. You might think it's extreme, and I got a lot of messages. Don't get me wrong, I understand. I am willing to answer any questions about it, like diabetic coma, etc., etc. All those I have responses, logical ones that you will all understand. If you ask me the questions, I'll give you the right answers, and you will understand why I say all that. But it's not extreme at all because you can afford it. Like it's basically based on biohacking and medicines. It's like natural medicines that our bodies are supposed to use for many natural processes and that we've forgotten because of our lifestyles. But if we reapply them into our lives, the process can be super quick.
Yeah. I can imagine,
So, Borja, you mentioned PNL. Can you tell our viewers what PNL is?
Yeah, it's basically, so again, like I was talking about the mechanic for the fatigued brain and fatigued body. I'm going to try to be as simple as I can so that even 5-year-old nephew would understand. And I actually literally do that whenever I want to do like a public speech or something like that, because I want everybody to understand me. First, I do a test, and I do not have a son for the time being, but I have a nephew. He's 5 years old, and I do try to explain him with my words.
Cool.
If he understands, then I'm ready to go.
You're
Public
good.
speech and whatever. I can talk in front of millions. And I've never done that, but looking forward anyway. It's what my brand's supposed to do, right? I want to help people all around the world with their fitness goals and transforming their bodies. P&L. So basically what I do in my specific case, because there's a bunch of different P&L schools, what I do is I use the power of words. Thanks to words, we can, again, the experiment about the glasses of water, words of love, words of hatred. The structure, the molecules absolutely change. We can do exactly the same to ourselves. So it's not only silly affirmations like, okay, say you love yourself in front of the mirror 50 times. No, there's a bunch of reprogramming. So it's a whole process in which we reprogram the brain of my clients into being 100% certain that they can do it. They're not only 100% certain, but now they want it 100%. They wake up every day with a purpose, and they feel it inside in their insides, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So and it
In their
all
core,
comes
in their
core. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Erna. That's the word I was looking for, in their core. So thank you very much. So yeah, it comes from the power of words. I have like a dictionary that I use, and you might think it's something like, what is this guy talking about? But I promise you, I do it, and it's awesome. I encourage you to do that. Like whenever you're going to say something, whenever you're going to write something, you said it, you wrote it. Try to remember the way you said it, the way you wrote it. It's easier when we write. No, if you were gonna write a message to a very good experiment that I usually recommend to do is like people that we usually write to, and we don't pay too much attention. We do it with our naturalness, let's say. It's our family, friends, and partner. So any of these three people, like look at the messages you're sending them. Better if it's written, because you can realize better how you did it, and realize of the words you used. Realize if they are words that build or words that destroy. You might think this is ridiculous. You're like, why would I say words that destroy to my parents? Well, you might not think they destroy directly, but what if, I don't know, like you're telling your mother something like, I don't know, it's just an example comes out of my mind, but you shouldn't do that, you should do that. You might say, it's an advice, it's not bad, it's not destroying. Wow, Erna, Ali, how can you rephrase it so that it becomes constructive? There's always a way. There's always a way. Like, Mom, don't you think it would be such a wonderful thing if we could spend a little bit more time together? But I don't know, because I have no idea what you were trying to tell her when you said you should do that. You're doing it wrong, right? But imagine it's like you should spend more time with me or with your children. So you rephrase it and you're like, Mama, love of my life, like the woman that I love so much. Wouldn't it be a good idea to blah 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 blah? Wouldn't it be a good idea to start doing it this way? Like, I don't know. I was just thinking the other day, what can I do to help? What can I do to be better for you? So instead of, our egos sometimes don't let us do that, but wouldn't it be much easier? Wouldn't it be much easier for everybody if nobody wants to let their egos lose, in quotes? You're not losing, you're actually winning when you let it's what most of the people don't realize. When you actually swallow your egos and you don't pay attention and you're like, what can I do, my love, to be better for you? Even though you're getting tough words, imagine you're not getting words of love, Doesn't matter. The other person does not know the power of words and the power of transformation thanks to words. You can use it to yourself, and you'll see how the person will become a reflection of what you're expressing, like if it was a mirror, pretty much the same. And
Yeah.
it happens, believe me, it's like magic. I've seen lives transforming in seconds,
Like
just
that,
in
huh?
seconds,
Yeah.
thanks to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually try to not to say not or shouldn't or couldn't or wouldn't or those kind of things. The not the negative things, I try to say them. I try to not say them and change them into positive things. And it's an awareness that you can build. Huh?
You can build that. Totally. It's a process.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, Laura. I'm writing this stuff down. So,
I'm so
when
glad.
yes, when you were talking about the okay, the method of being in a good state before you take on something that would normally stress you out, and you did the deep breathing kind of thing. Well, I'm like, I'm gonna use that for swimming because when I was little, along with a lot of my people in my generation, the parents just threw you in, you know, instead of letting you prepare, saying we're gonna try this now. You know, it was just like, psh, you know, see if she sinks or swims.
Go
And
for it.
then yes, and so because of that, I love swimming, but I don't like going underneath because I have to like hold my nose and it's like everybody else can just go down in there and I'm like, how are they doing that? You know? So I think like if what you had tried there was if you just kind of go and then go down in and once you hold your breath, you're not going to suck up all that water up your nose, you know? And then you can go in there and you can start thinking, oh, this is not so bad, right?
You're
Yeah.
totally right. And the Ali, you're totally right. And the most important part is controlling your exhaling, because it's the
Yeah.
exhaling that keeps you at like your bubble, inside your bubble of comfort. So if you exhale very quick, your comfort is broken instantly. But if you exhale very controlling, like you can even make noises. That's something that I always recommend. If you exaggerate the noise you make while you exhale, you kind of save comfort. Let's say it's breathe.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
It's oxygen, but let's call it like it's you save it for, let's call it comfort. You save that comfort so that it lasts longer. You know.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. That's good. Right. To learn something today. A lot of things actually. So yeah, I knew this would be a good interview. I just knew it.
I am so glad, Ali. Thank you very much.
Let's do this again because you've got so many interesting things that we that we can talk about, and we can do it like topic by topic, which
That's
will be
it.
really cool. We
Mhm.
can make like a series of it.
Oh my goodness, there's biohacks for, you can get bored with biohacks. There's some, I mean, I wouldn't get bored, but I guess some of our audience would get bored because of all the immensity of it.
Well,
It's
but you
huge.
don't, they don't have to listen to or view everything. They just pick and choose.
Each one chooses whatever they're interested in, like
Yeah,
cold therapy, hot therapy, microdosing with psychedelics. Yeah. That's also into biohacking. And you live in Amsterdam, so I'm pretty sure
yeah,
you know a little bit about all that. And
yes.
there's many other things. There's treatments with hormones, mother cells. There's like neurofeedback training. There's a lot of very, very, very interesting things to talk about regarding biohacking.
Okay. Maybe we should have our audience pick a subject
Nice.
that we can talk about next next time.
Yeah, guys, please put it in the comments if there's something specific that you struggle with, like cognitive function, muscle function, losing weight. And that's my specialty.
Yeah.
specialty, just let us know, and next one will be charged with all the information that you want to receive.
With all the golden nuggets, right?
That's
Well,
it.
this was already is like, ooh, 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 this is so cool. You're doing good stuff, you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Erna. You're so nice to
Thank
have
you.
me here today.
Yeah, well, it was Ellie that said, "Oh, I have this fantastic guy that I got to know, and we should have him on the podcast." I was like, "Okay, go for it."
So here you are, and so yeah, and I was going to say if our viewers want to reach out to you and they want to know how to get into your program, how do they do that?
Well, they can do it through Facebook, Ali. I'm pretty easy to find. It's Borja Fernandez. Like we can put in. I'm gonna write it down in the comments, and
Yeah.
they can just find me there.
Awesome. And one more question for you, Boha.
Yes.
So, and how if I can remember it. Uh, so let's see. So I asked you about where they can find you, and and one of the times I would like for you to bring your stretch band, so you can do the positions and the stretches for us.
Awesome. Yeah, we could have a whole like I could just do my training, but I could do it in front of our audience so that they can pick up some exercises that they want to use at home.
Yeah, let's get them moving and some grooving.
Because elastic bands is one of the best gym equipment that you can. I say gym equipment, but you can basically use it at the beach, the forest, anywhere, like at home. So that's
Yeah.
first of all why, in my opinion, it's the best, because it gives you freedom. You can pretty much train anywhere. Some other people are going to say, well, you can do calisthenics anywhere in the world. Well, you're right, but not everybody can do calisthenics. Calisthenics
That's true.
is a little bit more difficult, even depending on the exercise, obviously, but not grandmas don't necessarily do calisthenics. You can always find regressions of the exercise so that it's easier. But believe me, push-ups, you can put my grandma on her knees. She's not going to do push-ups anyway. That's going to do more harm than good.
Then
And
yeah, exactly.
elastic bands, you can pretty much, I mean, they're used for anything from rehab to strong men that do competitions that want to become stronger. They can use elastic bands as well. They're becoming more and more trendy. There's even Sylvester Stallone that is promoting elastic bands, saying that it should be the only piece of equipment that people
That you
use
need. Yeah.
after 50 years old, and that could use even
Oh,
before, because it does the job. Yeah.
Awesome.
well, we know what we have to do, Ali. Get some
Less,
elastic bands.
less impact in your joints. And if you follow
Yeah.
me, I can give you, I mean, you on my page, you already can find pretty much all the exercises, and every day I'm uploading routines and exercises and advices. So and it's
Cool.
everything for free. It's just with the willing of creating a healthy body and mind community.
Cool. Okay, we'll look you up, and I'll put it in the description under the YouTube video, so that people that see the video on YouTube, that they can also find you, and yeah,
Awesome.
That's awesome.
hopefully get in touch with you and do something with you.
And let's take that first step. Just get in touch, and the rest is in your mind. If you want to
Yeah.
get a transformation, the step towards the step towards getting that transformation is always a right step. So thank you very
Yeah.
much, girls.
Yeah, no problem. I
Yeah,
love it.
you're very welcome. Thank you for being our guest tonight. Well, yeah, for
Thank
us
you
it's
so
tonight.
much. Yeah, that's it.
For me, the afternoon. So yeah, I just love the fact that you're calling us girls and not ladies. We're girls, Erna.
Obviously, you're girls. What are you talking about? Everything's in the state of mind.
Yes, that's right.
I don't
So
feel my age. I'm not my age.
I'm not my age either.
I don't feel my age either. And in my case, it's even scientifically proven, because we can take my biomarkers, and I'm pretty sure I'm 5 years younger than what I really am, and maybe even 10. I have no idea. you know, the age of my
So cool, huh?
of my joints, age of my blood, age of my brain, age of my biomarkers to identify the age of pretty much every part of your body. Nowadays we can do that.
Cool. That's so cool. Okay, well, let's get you back
Yes.
another time, and then yeah, have some more discussion because this is
That's
really
it.
interesting.
Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you so much, Erna. Hope to see you very soon, and I wish you a wonderful evening.
Thank you, and the same to you. And well, to the viewers, let's say thank you, and thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for
See
watching,
you
guys.
next time.
We love you.
Yes, we'll see you
We
next time
do.
right, Erna? On the
Yes,
fast
on
track.
the fast track. On the fast track.
Bye.